Here. First of all, I have to thank Kiran Kumar, the president of All India OBC Students Association, who has taken pains in organizing this seminar on caste census. And I also thank him for inviting me to be as a chief guest to offer the valedictory address. In fact, yesterday, I think onwards this seminar is going on. We had Mr. Sam Pitoroda as a chief guest. Then our Dr. Veeramani sir, Asriya Raya, we used to call him affectionately, the president of Dravida Kazhagam. We have also heard Mr. Yogendra Yadav, a political analyst who has given a good insight about this. Then today I have heard Ajay Gudavarti, who has given a good insight about this. And I've also heard that there are other speakers, including Mr. Karnanidhi, my good friend, has spoken in the seminar. They have given valuable insights and perspective on the social, educational, economical, and political aspects of caste census. They have emphasized the need for a caste census, which is a key for effective implementation of reservation. The academicians, I think I heard that academicians, scholars, political activists have also given their peace of mind in this national seminar. And I heard that this is going to be a resounding success and a feather in the cap of Mr. Kiran Kumar, President All India OBC Students Association, who's actively taking up the cause across the country, and I really appreciate him. Now, this caste census is not merely a counting numbers, but it is also about ensuring that every section of society receives its fair share. It is also about the recognizing the lived experiences of millions of individuals who have faced systematic discrimination in correct way, in correct and methodology. The organizers should have named this seminar as a national seminar on national caste census, as without the national caste census, the real benefits flowing out of from this exercise of caste census to downtrodden and deprived communities cannot reach across the country. So we hereafter I will use the word as the national caste census. So that would be a correct way of even I myself used to use the word caste census. So everyone started speaking, why Bihar alone is taking caste census? Why can't other states do caste census? And why are you showing it as a national issue? Friends, we have to differentiate that this is a caste census, national caste census, which will really benefit the entire nations and the entire downtrodden populations. Today, you all know the OBC population is more than 80%, whereas the reservation for OBC is only 27%, that too based on 1931 census. But if you take the upper caste population, the population is less than 10%. However, the BJP government has given in a golden platters the reservation for a population which is less than 10% is 10%. So naturally you can understand how the disparity and mismatches is there. When it comes to OBC, what is the treatment, and when it comes to the upper caste, what is the treatment? There is one saying, you show me the law, or show me the person, I'll tell you the law. That is the way the BJP government has conducted themselves. To understand the urgency of a national caste census, it is essential to dwell into the historical context. Let me take you all back. What is the reason why we are asking for a caste census? So much speakers have spoken about that. Until 1931, in British era, the census had data on all castes, including OBCs. But such data was strangely not recorded in the successive census exercises. Due to this, the Mandal Commission in the year 1980 had to rely on the caste data, which was 50 years old at the time, for suggesting 27% reservation. I would like to bring to your attention that almost 30 years ago, a policy was formulated by relying on data which was 50 years old at that time itself. Such is the disconnect between the OBC population and the present reservation policy. I always take a pride in saying my country, India, runs the world's largest social welfare scheme based on caste identity, yet it relies on a data almost 100 years old. It is shocking to see that even today, such data are relied on reservations in educational institutions and government institutions. What good does it do when you don't have the correct numbers? Concrete policies cannot be formulated in absence of concrete data. However, credit where credit's due, a socio-economic and caste census was indeed conducted in 2011. However, such caste data was never released. Some speakers have also spoken about that. In fact, I followed what Mr. Karnanidhi spoke, and he has also touched this subject. It is due to such a lackadaisical approach. The Supreme Court often strikes down the reservation policies of the states on the ground that it is not based on any empirical data, and despite such numerous orders, the center doesn't have the political will to do so. Such empirical data is essential for devising welfare schemes and ascertaining reservation. Without it, all such schemes and policies would be worthless. The central government is devising such policies aimlessly when the present state of OBC population is unknown. The absence of such data is becoming a bottleneck for the welfare of the citizens belonging to the OBC category. The Supreme Court in Vikas Krishnarao Gawali versus State of Maharashtra has directed to conduct a rigorous empirical inquiry to inquire into the nature and implications of backwardness in the local bodies for reserving seats for the OBCs in the local body elections. The state of Maharashtra, in the spirit to comply, had requested the central government to provide a raw caste data from 2011 census, which was denied. And when the state of Maharashtra moves to Supreme Court asking for the release of such data, the central government shockingly says that, sorry, we cannot do so because that data is not reliable and has got inaccuracies and would be of no use. This was the answer given by the central government. In fact, I appeared in that case before the Supreme Court, and that was the stand of the central government. However, the 16th report of the Standing Committee on Rural Development of that is 16th Lok Sabha on BPL survey, currently Socio-Economic and Caste Census SECC 2011, where the Registrar General and Census Commissioner themselves state that 98.87% data collected through that caste census, that is SECC 2011, was error-free, which means the data that is already collected by them, and that too out of a cost of rupees 4,800 crores throughout the country relating to the census, was 98.87% error-free. So that data is still sleeping in the cupboards of the central government. They don't have a mind to reveal that data. This shows that the citizens belonging to the OBC category are being treated as a second-class citizens, so much so that the government does not even care to include them for the National Caste Census. They have no mind to reveal, they have no mind to take at least for a fresh caste census. The centre's action of withholding empirical data relating to OBCs is wholly arbitrary and amounts to breach of constitutional trust besides perpetuating illegality. Our leader, Mr. M.K. Stalin, the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, has been on the forefront of the fight for OBCs. His call for conducting National Caste Census and releasing caste data for OBCs has been echoed by leaders of several parties. In fact, he had written a letter to the Honorable Prime Minister in October 2023, wherein Mr. Stalin, M.K. Stalin, has requested for an integrated census at the national level, which could provide comprehensive and reliable data on the caste composition of the society and its reflection on the socio-economic indicators, which will be helpful for arriving at a correct percentage of reservation to be given for OBC across the country. To initiate any meaningful reform for backward class, the National Caste Census is a necessary precondition because such data is instrumental for devising specific policies catered for this section of the population and would further highlight the progress of such affirmative action for which was bestowed upon them after so much struggle. It cannot be denied that OBCs do benefit from these affirmative action policies. However, reliable data of their population must exist. Without it, such policies lack solid foundations. With increasing population, changing social structure, the National Caste Census is the need of the hour, as the India of 2024 is not the same as it was in 1931 or 2011. Such policies would be effective only when the current population levels of OBCs are analyzed and identified for achieving the prime objectives of affirmative action. Sometimes I ask myself this question, that what would be the purpose of introducing such policies when we do not know about the present state of the OBC population itself. Recently, Bihar government had released caste-based survey which shows that the OBCs form 63% of the state population and 15% form the upper caste. However, out of 20.47 lakh government jobs in the state, 6.41 lakhs are from upper caste.
सुना कि आपको घर मिल गया है, बहुत बहुत मुबारक हो.
Which is almost 33% of reservations for the upper caste, when they only form 15% of the state population. This needs to be changed. A data collected by the World Inequality Database in a paper titled Wealth Inequality, Class and Caste in India, 1961 to 2012, published in 2018, reveals that scheduled caste communities own only 7 to 8% of the total wealth, a significant 11 percentage points less than their population share. Similarly, scheduled tribe communities own 5 to 7% of total wealth, falling 1 to 2 percentage points below their population share. Most concerning is the situation for other backward classes, whose share of total wealth in 2002 was only 32%, but this marginally increased by 2012, resulting in a widening gap compared to their population share, falling behind 7.8% to 10.2%. Contrastingly, the upper caste groups have seen an increase in the share of total wealth from 39% to 41% between 2002 and 2012, improving the gap plus 14% to plus 18% compared to their population share. This over-representation of upper caste groups in the top segment of the population compared to their population share highlights an alarming wealthy disparity that cannot be ignored. To bridge these increasing inequalities, the importance of having national caste-based data cannot be overstated. Concrete policies addressing these issues cannot be formulated in the absence of accurate data. If our nation's wealth is divided along caste lines, we must have precise information about the population of various caste groups and their socio-economic status to develop targeted strategies. Policies and schemes are formed considering population in mind, but relying on 100-year-old data is meaningless as it serves no use and worsens the situation. However, opposition to the national caste-based census is rooted in multiple interrelated factors. Firstly, the upper caste groups have historically been the primary beneficiaries of government policies, and a national caste-based census threatens to expose this fact, challenging their hegemony. Secondly, proponents of Hindutva view a national caste-based census as a threat to the project of Hindu unity, as it reveals the oppressive nature of their cherished project. Moreover, a national caste-based census would debunk the claim that capitalism and its variants are the best system to eradicate caste. Studies have shown that the wealth gap between upper caste groups and others have only increased during the last 30 years of economic liberalization, making it imperative to reevaluate existing policies. Additionally, there is a fear among upper caste groups that a national caste-based census might lead to reconsidering the 50% ceiling on reservation, perceived as a threat to their economic prospectus. Myself and the DMK party, several other parliamentarians have been fighting for national caste census and to bring proportional representation. Friends, Mr. Kiran Kumar referred about the NEET. You all know that NEET was brought with an aim to eradicate the persons from the oppressed and the depressed class coming into the medical field. One point of time, because of the reservation, everyone was able to get their share. But what has come into the mind of these people is not to deprive these oppressed and depressed communities becoming a doctor, entering into the medical field. Therefore, they devised a scheme called as NEET. And today, our youth wing leader, youth wing secretary, Mr. Udayanidhi Stalin, who is also as Honorable Sports Minister, has taken this important issue into his hands. Friends, you will not believe that under his guidance, nearly more than 75 lakhs signatures have been collected opposing this NEET, and a representation has been sent to the union government. You also know that Tamil Nadu legislated a bill to see that the NEET is not implemented. At least in Tamil Nadu, we thought it cannot be implemented. That bill, which was legislated in 2021, and we are in 2024, the bill has been sent to the union government, and till today, the president has not given her assent. The reason for president not giving the assent is the union government is not placing it before the president. So that is how the union government is preventing from implementation of NEET. Friends, I have taken lot of measures, I've introduced lot of reforms by way of bills. I've spoken in the parliament, as Mr. Kiran Kumar said. I have introduced a private member bill in the last session seeking to amend List 1, Entry 69 of 7th Schedule of the Constitution and to move the power of census to the state government, which will help the state governments to carry out caste census and grant reservations in accordance with the percentage of the population to OBC communities. Further, I will also be introducing another private member bill in the ensuing budget session, seeking to amend Article 15 and Article 16 of the Constitution of India to increase the quantum of reservation offered to the socially and educationally backward class of citizens in proportionate to their population. I have raised this issue multiple times in Parliament. I have given several letters to union ministers to implement proportional representation in various policies. I have personally written letter to all the national law schools in the country to implement reservations for OBCs. You will recollect that National Law School, they are not implementing OBC reservations. I have written to the law minister, I have written to all the states, including the vice chancellors, even the chief ministers, to implement the reservations given to the OBCs. Certain national law universities are refusing to give reservations to OBCs in the All India seats. What they say is, All India seats, I will not give reservations to OBCs. And then what for reservation is there in the state? So I had written 2 or 3 letters indicating that this conduct amounts to depriving the students from getting their lawful reservations. In fact, I even threatened them that I will move the court, and I have been receiving like compliance order from some universities that after I gave the letter, sir, we are now going to implement. From this year onwards, we are going to implement, and this year onwards, we will be giving the reservations for OBCs. So to that extent, we can see how lethargic some national universities are there. Friends, under the guidance of Honorable Chief Minister, Mr. M.K. Stalin, we have successfully conducted the first and second All India Federation for Social Justice Conference in the last year, with the aim to bring leaders and activists on the common platform for the cause of social justice. Recently, I met Honorable Education Minister and has given a letter seeking to mandate high-level committee across all universities for students, faculty members, and staff dedicated to issue related to the caste-based discrimination and oppression of minorities. I also emphasize that the committee should be formed comprising of equal representation from the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBCs, and all other minority communities. Friends, why I gave this letter is, I could see by myself many of the students doing research, PhD, they have been dropped wantonly, they have been cornered. Even the faculty members, they have been taken or removed, and they have been terminated for no cause at all. And this has been injustice being done in Delhi University. I myself seen this. In fact, my good friend Suraj and even my another friend who's there in the Delhi University, they used to tell me that this is the discrimination thing that is happening. So that is the reason why I gave this letter. In conclusion, the National Caste Census is not just a statistical exercise. It is a catalyst for social change. It is an essential step towards building a more equitable society where policies are informed by accurate data and every citizen has an equal opportunity to thrive. Together, let us continue this fight for justice and equality. I once again thank Mrs. Kiran Kumar, who has given me this opportunity, and thank you very much, my good friends.